with you. As Jacques mentioned, I was former board chair of this great college, and as we celebrate the 50th year of Mayor Carl Stokes and Congressman Louis Stokes' legacy as far as politics and community service are concerned, I am pleased to have come to Cleveland and work for Mayor Stokes during his 4 years of administration. And that was indeed a pleasure. I was telling Ms. Malcolm earlier that when Mayor Stokes became mayor, it was as huge as when President Obama became president, because back in 1967, never in our wildest dreams did we think that there would be an African American to become mayor of a major city. At that time, Cleveland was the 8th largest city in the United States. And so we have a lot of things to look at and be blessed for as far as Cleveland is concerned. To mention legacy, I believe that legacy has to do with vision. The vision to dream. The vision to want to be committed to excellence. Your legacy does not mean that anyone has to be famous, but legacy means doing what you must do to help preserve your family and your community and having faith in God. I believe that legacy coupled with vision means simply one thing, that the work you do will help somebody as you pass along the way. I know quite a few people that I've seen with legacies. One was my grandmother, who said, "Son, take the Lord with you everywhere you go." And if he gives you the world of being in the living after you sleep tonight, be grateful and do something for someone else. And so legacy should be start with a capital L, but the legacy starts with you. And legacy starts with all of us, where we can not go for fanfare, not go for getting our names in the newspapers or in lights, but just be in the establishing way of doing something for yourself and for each other and for the communities in which you live. When Ms. Rankin asked us about a book, there's a book that is by my television, and I see it every day and every night. The author is not a great author when it comes to being well known throughout literary circles, but he was a great man. And I happened to hear him talk about his book, one of his 2 books, and I decided that I would purchase one. And the author is Tony Dungy. The title of the book that I look at every day of my life is called Quiet Strength. Ms. Markaby knows a lot about quiet strength. And it goes on to talk about him being a star athlete in high school in Jackson, Michigan, leaving high school and going on to the University of Minnesota and becoming one of the first African-American quarterbacks in the Big Ten. It talks about him establishing a legacy at the University of Minnesota, not only in athletics, but he was an honor student as well and graduated from the University of Minnesota. And then he talked about the quiet strength that he had because he was shocked and disheartened. After being a star athlete in high school and at the University of Minnesota, he was undrafted in the NFL. But he was signed as a free agent, which means he didn't get a lot of money, by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the other disheartening factor was the fact that he wanted to play quarterback. But in those days, there were no black quarterbacks in the NFL. So, as usual, he became a defensive back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Played very well, became a starter and a star. But then, he suffered a setback. And that setback was that a new coach came in. And he wanted to change the venue there, get younger players. So Tony Dungy was traded to the worst team in the NFL. And his quiet strength was that he believed in God and had faith. And he played for that team just as he did for the champion Pittsburgh Steelers. Then he retired. And the coach for one of the teams said, I've seen something in you. I think you could be a coach. So he became one of the youngest coaches for a professional team. And he became coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was not a great team, but he coached that team. And then he discovered something else. He discovered that he had to deal with life in a way that the cards had been handed to him. He suffered racism in Tampa, Florida, because he did not win right away. And so in the community, he was downcast. We brought you here to win, and you can't win. And so Tony Dungy put his faith in God and decided to know that I am a winner because God placed me here as a winner. He went on to build the Tampa Bay team, and then they fired him. And he said, my thing was to develop minds. And so after being fired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the minds that he developed, those friends were his players. And he went out of work for a while, but he had faith in God and became the coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And he made history there. He took the Colts to the Super Bowl, and I just happened to be at that particular Super Bowl in Miami, Florida, where two black coaches coached in the Super Bowl that year. Lovie Smith for the Chicago Bears and Tony Dungy for the Colts. The Colts won. And Tony Dungy said, yes, we won, but because of all the mental anguish that I went through, God won and allowed me to be a part of it. And so he went on to coach for the Colts for a while, and then a tragedy hit him. His oldest son committed suicide. And Tony said, what happened is that he thought, I'm here. Success has come my way. I've tried to do well by my family, and my son commit suicide. But he said he just straightened his back up again and went on with that belief in God, and knowing that through Proverbs 24:10, if I faint in the day of adversity, my strength is small. What I want to leave to you today is that you must have huge strength Don't ever say that you cannot make it. Don't ever say that I'm just here at Tri-C. Be proud that you are here at Tri-C. Seeking to make a difference in your life. I happened to be with a great actor over the weekend in Los Angeles. His name was Denzel Washington. And Denzel was talking to some young actors and actresses. And he said, I did not get here. It was at the NAACP Image Awards. He won 16 Image Awards. He said, I didn't get here with those 16 Image Awards. There were people that were here before me. There were people that said, yes, you can, and yes, you will. And he told those young actresses and actors, he said, if you fall 7 times, get up the 8th time and shake it off and know that you can still win. So young people here today, know that you can win, say that you can win, but above all, believe in God and believe that you will win.